PLC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company Maono, and this is the Maono's Wave T5 wireless microphone kit. It's the company's latest wireless lav kit for mobile shooting, for let it be smartphones, cameras, or anything else that takes USB-C, Lightning, or 3.5mm connections. And it's like most kits, it comes in different flavors, so you can control which one you're buying into and how much money you're spending based on what you're trying to record to, while at the same time giving you that option in case you want all of the above. And it keeps the price point low and works its way up while never really going past a comfortable mark. So you never have to worry about spending too much money, and this is perfect for an entry-level wireless lav solution for anyone just trying to get their feet wet in the industry and keep the costs low, while also having good quality audio. Like many of the wireless lav kit solutions out there, they do offer excellent sound when it comes to their ability to record, and in this case, it handles up to 48 kilohertz and 24-bit sound, which is pretty good for a small little wireless lav kit that's also quite affordable. It offers 3 modes and 14 levels of noise cancellation to make sure that you have the ability to eliminate the sound around you in your environment, so you can focus just on the person who's talking. You don't always have to make use of that, but sometimes you do, depending on what's going on around you. And it offers competitive battery life, because battery life is a big deal, especially when it comes to small little transmitters like these. These are tiny. And it's all about being able to not be bulky and require less accessories. In this case, you don't need a lavalier mic like you see here with a lot of Shure and Sennheiser products. You always have a lavalier mic. In this case, the actual lav unit itself is your microphone, and it just clips to the person. And with that, you still get a battery life of up to 30 hours total when putting them in and out of the charging case. So that's up to 30 hours of use before you have to charge everything, which is pretty good. It's gonna get you through your shoot. Don't think you're gonna have any charging issues, so you should be good there. And on top of that, the transmitters are only 9 grams each. They're really lightweight, they're very small, and easy to work with. They have an 80 decibel signal to noise ratio, as well as 120 decibels max SPL, and they offer a range of up to 1,000 feet, and that's line of sight, but still 1,000 feet is really good, and we're seeing that as more of a common thing now with a lot of these lav kits coming from these companies, which means if you're outdoors, there's nothing blocking you, you can get up to 1,000 feet. However, of course, if you do have things blocking in between the transmitter and the receiver, such as walls, trees, or anything else, of course, that 1,000 feet is going to shrink down a little bit. So if you're shooting indoors and getting a little crazy, you're not gonna have 1,000 feet. But regardless, you should have plenty of range. And then you have the price tag. So price tag on these, Maono's been pretty good at this. They offer an amazing product for an amazing price. So it wasn't surprising to see the price tag on these. So if you want to get just the USB-C version, it's $89. That's it. So that gives you a USB-C receiver and the 2 transmitters. Pretty good deal. And then you have the 3.5mm or Lightning edition, which is $129 for the kit. So it's one or the other, or you can get the combo. So the combo gives you USB-C, 3.5, and Lightning, and that's $150 or $149. So you're looking at $89, $129, or $149, and that's assuming they aren't on sale. So pretty good deal. They have you covered, it's affordable, and it should sound good too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up, see what it looks like, see what it comes with, and then we're gonna hook it up to our rig here and show you what it sounds like. So the first thing you see is a drawstring pleather bag here. It's nice and thin and soft, and it has some of your cable accessories inside. You have 2 magnetic options for going around the neck. So if you want to, let's say that who you're trying to mic up has a dress that's too frilly, it's, even 9 grams is gonna weigh it down, it's gonna look funky. You can hook the transmitters to one of these and just hang it around their neck. And that's it, you're done. Which is always a nice feature to have. And then of course you have your USB connection here for charging the case and everything that's in it. And then for your instructions and other documentation, you have a packing list so you can see everything that it comes with, which is a decent amount. You have some stickers here so you can control what it looks like on the shirt. Now this is important. This is actually very important, because one of the biggest complaints that people have is they don't like to see logos. And companies have been trying to find a way past that. Of course, they do give you the option of slapping logos on there, But not everybody wants to see a logo when it comes to recording something. You know, it could be a conflict of interest in sponsorships, for example. But in this case, they do give you some other options here to make use of, including just blank. You can just put a blank sticker on there. It can be white or black, so it helps blend it into the shirt or material that you have it attached to. And then you have some goofy ones up here with some smiley faces, a little thumbs up, a heart, and if you want to get cute with it, I guess you have that option. But you have black and white to keep it simple, which is so very important, because why even put a logo on there at all? You know, it's just distracting. So you have that option. Then you have the instructions, which comes in multiple different languages here, so it's not as intimidating as you might think, and you'll pretty much only be using these to determine what all the buttons do, since you're really kind of depending on LED or status LEDs to figure out what mode you're in, such as active noise cancellation, mono, or stereo. And that's important, because if you're operating these in mono, that means that they are both going to be on both the left and the right channel. If you have it in stereo mode, that is what most people like to use when you're using both transmitters. Stereo mode puts one in the left channel, one in the right channel, so in post you can fix that later on. And in case one's lower than the other one, for example, or one needs to be cleaned up a little bit, and you can again fix it in post by taking that and put them on, sharing them on both channels, so it doesn't sound weird with only one coming on one side and the other on the other when you actually have it uploaded for viewers to actually see. So mono, stereo, and then noise cancellation is kind of obvious in terms of having that on or off. And then you have the case. This is the travel case that everything goes into. It's pretty nice and neat to be able to keep everything within a single container like this. All of your accessories and everything else are in here. And you have the two windscreens here. This is going to be for when you're in windy conditions and you just need to eliminate that, or if you have a heavy mouth breather, which is a term I don't like to use, but I mean, they exist, and this helps to fight that. And then you have a 3.5 millimeter to 3.5 millimeter cable here. That's for when using it with a DSLR camera or anything with a 3.5 millimeter connection. And then you have two little clips here. This is for clipping them onto a shirt like you would a normal lavalier. They're definitely giving you options here. You have lanyard, you have clips, and you have options. Lots of options. So charging case, obviously. So it's a plastic charging case. Keeps everything nice and neat and charged. And then you have two additional receivers here. In this kit, you have three, because again, this is the combo. You have a Lightning, you have a USB-C, and then there's a 3.5 millimeter receiver inside the case. So if you have an Apple product, an Android product, when I say Apple, it could be new or old, because you have a USB-C or Lightning in the combo option here, or if you have a DSLR, you have the 3.5 millimeter edition here that you can use instead. In the charging case, you have your two transmitters and again, the 3.5 millimeter receiver. This keeps them charged, gives you up to 30 hours of battery life. And then if you're using these, again, the battery life for these are coming from your phone. So, moving these to the side, we have, again, three receivers. So you got your USB-C and your Lightning. You have two LEDs here that's just going to show connectivity between your two transmitters to the receiver, as well as give you color options to let you know, are they connected in mono, stereo, and of course is ANC enabled, are they muted? It's going to tell you all of that. You have an all-inclusive button on the bottom here, and we'll actually flip to the instructions to make sure we tell you the right information, because every product out there is different sometimes, and I mean, it's important to know what you're working with here. But on those receivers, you have, well, obviously, you have a USB-C connection on the side, so you can use pass-through and charge your phone as it's connected, so that way you're not killing your battery life on your phone. So you're seeing that really more and more now in a lot of these USB-C receivers, pass-through charging. And then for the button down here, you have really the only thing it's doing, it's hard to read that, it's so small, but you have pairing and noise reduction, or noise cancellation. So the pairing option is to pair this with the, to the transmitters, so you can switch between all three, or you can replace transmitters. And then obviously enabling the noise reduction is turning ANC on and off. For the receiver for the 3.5 millimeter, let me just remove this. Each one has a little piece of plastic that protects the contacts. You always want to remove those or it's not going to take a charge. But you have your contacts on the bottom. You have a clip on the back that's the size of a cold shoe or hot shoe. So you can slide it onto your camera's hot shoe or cold shoe, whatever it offers. On one side, it has USB-C connectivity for charging this separately if you want. It doesn't offer pass-through or anything like that since you can't charge your camera using a 3.5. But on the other side, you'll find that 3.5, which goes from here to the camera using the given cable, and that's what sends audio between the receiver and the camera. You have your mono stereo switch on that side. Going back to the USB-C side, you have a power button. And that power button also has functionality. We'll go back to the instructions to make sure we give you the right information. That power button also operates as your pairing button for pairing the transmitters to it. You also have the volume button, the volume wheel here. We'd love to see this in a lot of these receivers with modern day mobile kits. You have a physical knob, which is always important, and it just gives you a little bit more control versus trying to continuously press and hold a button, which could also shake the camera a little bit. Where this, you can just barely turn just a little bit to take volume up and volume down. And it's just, I believe that's less interaction in terms of pressure, where you're pressing down on something that can cause issues during a record. And it also it's just nice to have that physical feel. It's like having a keyboard versus a touchscreen keyboard. There's a difference between the two, but Maono gives you that option. But that is the 3.5 millimeter receiver. And then you have the transmitters, which are tiny. So you have options. Again, like I mentioned, you have a lanyard. You also have the clip, so you can connect it to your subject like you can any other lavalier clip on microphone. But they also come with microphone backs, so that way you can put this behind a shirt, and it just connects to the shirt through the material. So you have 3 different ways of miking your subject. And the lab is pretty straightforward. You have your microphone on top. You have your noise cancellation and power, which is going to be through here. So press and hold to turn it on and off manually. Single press to turn on noise cancellation. So blue is going to be normal, green is going to be noise cancellation. And then you have a mute option right here. You cannot mute from the receivers, but you can mute from the transmitter. So if you want to just mute yourself really quickly, you can do that by pressing that button. And the power button is also going to act as a pairing option as well. So that's something to keep in mind if you're pairing between these or you need to replace one of these because you've lost it. But that's it. So you have 3 different receivers, 2 transmitters. The only thing left is to hear what they sound like. So let's go ahead and get this connected to our rig and find out. So now you're listening to the Maono Wave T5 wireless microphone. That's just hooked to my shirt right there. And it does have the logo there, but again, you can put a sticker on there and hide that logo completely, or you can make your own logo, a sticker, and just slap that on there. Have your company logo on there or something equivalent. But again, most people, what they're probably going to do is go for the black stickers, since the microphone itself is black. So even if you put a white one on there, it's going to be kind of weird because it's going to be mostly black. So just put the black sticker on there. It'll get rid of the logo, and you will never have to worry about brand placement or any other conflicts of interest, such as sponsorships, not wanting to see other logos. But this is what it sounds like. This is with just the noise cancellation is turned off, or noise reduction. It's turned off, and we are in a mostly controlled atmosphere. So we can make noises around us, maybe, like the sound of this plastic bag off in the distance. You're hearing that because there's no noise cancellation. Now, if I press this button, I can see the light turns to green. And now it shouldn't be as noisy. I'm getting a smirk from the camera guy, so he might hear it a little bit, but it may not be, as bad as compared to not using noise cancellation. And of course, using the app, you should be able to have a little bit more flexibility in some of these and being able to dial into some of these settings and make use of how well you're really focusing on that noise cancellation. But for the most part, this thing is doing pretty good, and it should sound pretty good, right? Yep, thumbs up. So we got a thumbs up, so it sounds good. Right now we have it in mono mode, so it's going to both channels. Again, if we switched it on the receiver to stereo, then this would be just in one side, where the other would be in the other transmitter would be on the other side. And that's it. So using the app, you should be able to have a little bit more configuration or control over everything. But for the most part, this is a nice microphone, and it's affordable. So it sounds good, it's affordable, it comes with a ton of options. And personally, if you ask me, I would say if you are serious and you are a vlogger, I should start off with that. If you're a vlogger and you're serious, you probably want to get this kit that has all 3. If you are a professional or a semi-professional or a prosumer or however you want to classify yourself, who uses a DSLR or other camera solution and could never find yourself doing interviews using mobile devices like smartphones, then yes, get just the 3.5mm version and save a little bit of money. But if you think about it, that is $130 versus $150. It's only $20 more to get the all-inclusive kit. So, I mean, to have the option versus not to have the option, $20 isn't a big deal. I would say get the whole combo, get everything. And that gives you options now and in the future in case you ever need them. And that's it. It's the difference between $89, $129, and $149. So we're using the $149 kit that comes with everything. And again, you have these options for magnets. You know, you have the magnet like I'm using now. You can use it with the clip backing, so you can clip it like I had the lav on earlier, and you can use the lanyard in case someone's wearing something that you don't want to clip anything to, or maybe they don't want to be clipped to and they just want the lanyard. You have that option. And it's really nice that Maono gives you that option because it just, features are everything, and having any kind of handicap while shooting is bad. So this really helps to prevent a lot of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some information in the description on where you can find these, as well as some other things that you can get more information on. And again, all of that will be in the description of the video, so definitely check that out. And if you liked what you've seen here, don't forget to subscribe and follow us, as well as tick the like button on this video so we know that you like this video specifically. And as well as use the comment section below in case you have any comments, suggestions, questions, or anything for us, for each other, or for even the manufacturer in case they're watching. And as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.